Kim Kardashian has found herself at the center of controversy following her latest runway appearance during Paris Fashion Week. Walking for Balenciaga's high-profile couture show, Kim wore a structured cream gown and styled her hair in vintage waves. The outfit drew attention, but the focus quickly shifted to her walk, which was widely criticized across social media platforms. As the video of her walk surfaced, comments poured in accusing her of appearing disoriented, sluggish, or even intoxicated. Viewers questioned whether she was prepared for the runway, with some comparing her walk to someone stumbling after a night out, or likening it to an unsteady party guest struggling to find their balance. The phrase, "Is she drunk?" appeared repeatedly in comment sections, driving engagement but also fueling backlash. Kris Jenner, who was present at the show and shared footage of Kim's walk on Instagram, did not respond publicly to the criticism. Her stories, meant to showcase Kim's runway moment, unintentionally amplified the viral circulation of the clip. The video was picked up by meme pages, news accounts, and fashion analysts who dissected Kim's gait frame by frame. This isn't Kim's first appearance on the Balenciaga runway. She previously walked for the brand during their earlier couture show in 2022. However, this latest showing was notably different, not just in the styling but in the response. While past appearances were praised for their boldness and visual impact, this time attention focused entirely on performance, and not in a positive way. The runway itself was narrow and dimly lit, consistent with Balenciaga's avant-garde aesthetic. Models were instructed to walk slowly and deliberately, but in Kim's case, observers claimed her movements appeared overly cautious, even stiff, as if she were unsure of her steps. Combined with the gown's tight fit and towering heels, her pace and posture drew immediate scrutiny. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We bring you the latest updates around celebrities. The backlash extended to comparisons with professional models and even members of her own family. Kendall Jenner, known for her modeling career, was mentioned frequently in online threads, with users stating the contrast between the two sisters' runway experience. Critics claimed that while Kendall had earned her spot in the fashion world through years of modeling, Kim's role was more promotional than professional. Some speculated whether the gown's fit contributed to her restricted walk. The dress featured a tightly cinched waist, limited leg movement, and extreme heel height. Still, the expectation at a couture-level runway is confident, smooth execution. The fact that Kim appeared uncertain, pausing slightly as she walked, was enough for online commentators to suggest that she looked uncomfortable or unprepared. No official statement has been issued by Kim's team or by Balenciaga in response to the trolling. Kim has not addressed the backlash on her social media accounts. Instead, her posts from the event remain live, showing behind-the-scenes photos of her outfit, glam team, and entry to the venue. As the video of her walk continued to circulate, media outlets began reporting on the backlash directly. Tabloid headlines highlighted the most brutal reactions, while fashion outlets questioned whether celebrity guests were diluting the exclusivity of high-fashion runway presentations. Some stylists suggested that while Kim is a powerful brand ambassador, her actual runway walk undermines the prestige associated with shows like Balenciaga's couture presentation. The event itself was Balenciaga's most talked-about moment of the season, already under a microscope as its creative director wraps up another controversial year. The brand had invited a wide array of figures from entertainment, sports, and media, but Kim's participation generated the most coverage, not because of what she wore, but how she walked. Observers also pointed out the production value of the show. With cameras rolling, press in attendance, and live streams posted by celebrity family members, the event had less of an industry-only feel and more of a public-facing rollout. That amplified the visibility of the walk, giving critics more angles and platforms to spread their reactions. The clip has now been embedded in dozens of recap videos, included in fashion reaction TikToks, and used in comparative videos alongside other celebrities' runway moments. What was meant to be a serious couture appearance is now trending under comedy and meme hashtags. Balenciaga has remained silent about the reactions. Industry insiders note that celebrity collaborations on runways are always high risk. They offer viral potential but also open up the brand to new forms of scrutiny. In this case, the backlash centered less on Balenciaga's styling or production and more on the performance of the celebrity invited to represent them. Kim's appearance has reignited debate over the difference between celebrity presence and model professionalism. While the two often intersect in modern fashion, critics argue that runway shows should prioritize performance and poise over brand visibility. Kim's appearance, according to these voices, failed to meet those standards, regardless of her influence or styling. As Paris Fashion Week continues, the Kim Kardashian runway moment remains one of the most talked about events of the season. With no response from Kim or Balenciaga, the story continues to play out through viewer reactions, commentary breakdowns, and influencer responses. For now, the walk is no longer just about fashion, it's a case study in how quickly a moment can spiral from celebration to controversy. As the clip spread across platforms, the commentary began shifting from momentary trolling to a larger discussion about performance standards in luxury fashion. Several fashion commentators noted that couture shows have historically relied on professional models to embody the brand's vision, not just wear it. In that context, Kim Kardashian's slow and awkward walk didn't align with what Balenciaga audiences expect, particularly during such a high-profile Paris event. Runway experts pointed out that movement is as essential as the garment itself. The walk has to reflect elegance, control, and confidence, especially in couture, where the designer's pieces are considered wearable art. Kim's stiff posture and measured steps suggested none of that, and instead pulled attention away from the fashion and toward her own uncertainty. In media interviews following the show, stylists who were not affiliated with Balenciaga weighed in anonymously. One called the moment a lesson in why runway isn't just a photo op, while another noted that styling someone doesn't mean they can deliver the full presentation. The general consensus in those industry circles: celebrity power doesn't always translate to performance credibility. Footage of other attendees walking behind the scenes, including well-trained models, only intensified the criticism. Side-by-side comparison videos were quickly uploaded showing the difference in posture, rhythm, and confidence between Kim and her peers, highlighting how different the execution looked under the same conditions. Complicating matters further, Kim's walk coincided with a growing wave of skepticism around celebrity appearances in luxury fashion. Over the past few years, several fashion houses have brought in entertainers and influencers to open or close runway shows. While this brings attention and reach, many in the fashion world believe it weakens the artistic credibility of these events. Some insiders see Kim's appearance and the reaction to it as a breaking point, a signal that audiences are no longer willing to overlook lackluster performance just because of name value. It's not just about being there. Now, it's about delivering the same quality as those who walk the runway full-time. No apology or clarification has come from Kim Kardashian's team, and Balenciaga has not addressed the response. This silence is consistent with both parties' media strategy in past incidents. However, the footage remains up on all official channels, including Kris Jenner's stories, and continues to generate attention. Interestingly, the backlash has not led to a pullback from Kim's fashion presence. Within days of the show, she posted new content from other Paris events, including stylized photo shoots and backstage content. Fashion outlets continued to feature her in roundups of best-dressed attendees, though rarely mentioning the runway walk itself. Meanwhile, the Drunk Walk label has now taken on a life of its own. Memes, voiceovers, and short edits using her clip are being circulated in completely different contexts, from parody videos to pop culture compilations. The original video is no longer just fashion commentary, it's been absorbed into broader internet culture. For Kim, the walk may be a small moment in a long career of public appearances, but for the industry watching and for millions of viewers reacting in real time, it's an example of what happens when the crossover between celebrity and couture isn't executed with precision. Fashion shows, especially couture, are about storytelling. When the story's overshadowed by questions like, is she drunk or did she practice? The focus shifts from the designer's work to damage control. Now, whether Kim will return to the runway again remains to be seen. What's clear is that this particular walk has now entered the list of Fashion Week's most talked about missteps,